Welcome to the Project Cypher halftime show, sponsored by Smart LED Solutions. And I am here joined by KuXXeon. He is the coach for mCon Orange, and he's also an analyst on the Dutch RLCS broadcast and for the grid as well. And so clearly a lot of experience behind his belt, and working with mCon Orange to try and really push their limits and take them to the next level. Welcome to the stream, to Project Cypher, KuXXeon.
Thanks, thanks for the introduction. Thank you. It was that's basically what I do right now. Yeah, you summed it up great.
Thank you. So why don't you just sort of like introduce a little bit, who you are, when you sort of started playing Rocket League, and a little bit of your history in the game and how you sort of got to where you are now.
My name is KuXXeon, for the people that didn't know yet. I'm 19 years old. I started playing this game 2015. I downloaded it on PlayStation Plus. I hate the game.
Everyone who plays Rocket League hates Rocket League.
and then I was so bored. I need something to play. I thought, okay, let's give it another chance. Maybe it's fun now. And since the moment, I got addicted. And then in 2016, I thought like, I'm becoming a bit better. It's going a bit better. Maybe I should try and go into teams. I started climbing way up, and then I watched a lot of RLCS, and I got a little bit fan of KuXXeon, which you probably see based on my name. So I just started. I just started playing and started grinding. I wanted to become one of the best players in the world. I wanted to become like KuXXeon, but then 2 years ago I realized, maybe I should just give up the dream. Maybe I should do something else and just have fun in the game. And half a year later, I got my first opportunity to start coaching for a team. One of the players who was still on the team that I'm currently coaching was Pim, and he was on the first team that I coached.
Okay, yeah. So it's definitely an interesting way, and I think you had sort of this drive to want to become one of the best players, and I guess there must have been a point at which you went like, okay, like I could keep grinding and maybe make it as one of the best players, but you're now a coach for mCon Orange, so that must have been a decision that you had to make to say, okay, actually I think I can help other people reach a new limit through the knowledge that you've gained playing the game. What was the decision there to sort of like go from sort of maybe full-time player to coach?
Well, I was first the manager of the team that Pim was on, and I just like started talking. I thought maybe I can help them become better. I just asked, would you guys mind if I help you guys to become better? So I'm your coach, and they all agreed like, yeah, sure, why not? And from that on, I started and basically worked my way up, and they became a lot better because they started all at 1600, and a year later they all hit 2K. So I'm really proud, of course, that basically because of what I did, people got a lot better. And so thought maybe I should just try to become a full-time coach. I know I can do this. I know I can make people better. So why not try and become a much better player, help other people become better, because myself I'm not going to become much better than I'm currently am.
Okay, so I mean, you got them from 1600 to like 2K. I mean, that's quite huge. How long did it take to do that?
Like I had 3 players under my belt, and for one of them, he was grinding a lot. He was playing a lot, and I think for him it was like 6 months, and then Pim did it in 7 months, and the other guy did it in 8 months. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of what I did, because they started solo, and because of what I helped them with, they became so much better. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I would obviously have no idea where to start. If I got given a 1600 player and they said, okay, make him better, I wouldn't know where to start. Like, maybe I could point out a couple of things that maybe I noticed, but I wouldn't be able to tell him, okay, for you to get from 1600 to 2K in 6 months, this is what you need to do. What were some of the common things across those players that you had to help them with?
They were making a lot of like dumb mistakes. Like they were challenging when they shouldn't supposed to. They were making a lot of dumb decisions. And when I looked at it and with them, I said like, yeah, why are you making this decision? It's useless. Like you should give yourself some more time. Your teammates aren't back. I was just pointing out, okay, where are currently the problems. Also because you're 1600 to 2K. Mechanics are a lot faster. Your mechanics need to be a lot better. So mechanically, I also help them. So like, yeah, focus on this, focus on that. Try. You're good at this, so you need to focus on that to become much better. So just pointing out, okay, this is how you can become a much better player than you currently are. And I also help them with the team rotation because sometimes there were overcommits or double commits, and you don't want that.
Okay. So you mentioned like, you know, players there are players that are really good at some specific things. Do you find it more important to make them really, really good at some particular thing, or do you try and improve like what they're worst at first?
Well, like it really depends on how the team dynamic is and what the team needs. Because if I look at, for example, the mCon Orange that I'm currently coaching, you have Jay White, and he's mechanically a beast. And he's like on the when he's attacking, he's really good, but his defense lacks a lot. And I just thinking to myself, yeah, he doesn't need to defend, he just needs to score. So I just don't try to improve his defense because I have two other players who can do the heavy lifting and defense for him. So I'm just try to help him to become much better in offense than in defense, because he barely needs to defend, because he has two really great players behind him who can do the defense lifting for him.
Okay, that's quite interesting to hear, because I think, you know, I mean, at the level that like I play Rocket League, or that some of the teams here in Cypher, we all learn like a standard Rocket League, like a meta, right? Like you rotate in this way, you defend like this, you challenge like this. And I don't think it's only sort of around this kind of level where people start to develop play styles, like where you start to see someone is a little bit better on solo plays, and you have someone who's got good awareness, so he makes more passes. But when you say there's someone that's, say, like not very good on defense, how does that then affect the team dynamic or the strategy that you sort of approach the game? Because I think for a lot of people watching, this is probably quite an interesting thing, because I'm sure they've got someone on their team who's really, really good up front, but then whiffs in defense and gives away an easy goal. Like, what is sort of then like the compromise?
Well, our playstyle is around Jay Whites. He's like the main focus of our playstyle. We just work around him. He does his own thing. He gets a lot of space from his teammates, and we just give him the ball. We pass him. We give him opportunities. We give him space to do his thing, and the rest of the players just fill in the gaps for him to just shine and do what he's good at. Because we know that if we give him that space, we are offensively really good, because he's just an offensive beast. But in defense, he's not that good. But he barely has to defend, has to be in defense on his own, or has to be in defense for long. Of course, he does the defense, but sometimes his decisions in defense aren't the best. But we have Cheese Space and Pime for that. They are really smart on defense, and I try to make them a lot smarter on defense, so they can fill in the gaps that he's missing.
Okay, so it's more about like having other players allow him to do his thing and have them maybe sit a little deeper.
Yeah.
And so do they then like try to distribute the ball to him? Like, is he like kind of like a target man to then go and make a play, or is it you know, is it more focused through solo plays, or is it more like what is sort of the way that you guys approach the game in general? Like, do you have like a Rocket League brand in a way of how you play the game?
Yeah, currently what we do mostly is he's our target man. We try to give him the ball and pass the ball to him, so he comes in opportunity to score. But sometimes when he's on his own, he can do mechanically things and just hit the ball and outplay three players. like I'm still like every time that I look at him, I'm still thinking like, how can you do this? How can you do this? I'm like, every time that I look at him, I'm still surprised. So yeah, it's we just really try to work around him and make try to pass the ball or give him the ball so he can do what he's good at and use his mechanics on the best way possible.
Okay, no, so he sounds like one of these players that makes you very jealous because you watch him and you go, "Oh man, I wish I could do that." So that's you've covered like where you started, how you got into coaching, and a little bit about your team, and clearly it sounds like you've got a fantastic team on your hands. It sounds like you've also got it figured out. You know your strong points, your weak points. So what is the next step for mCon Orange? What competitions are you playing in like right now? What have you played in, and what are you trying to achieve? And while you explain that, Bulls wants me to do some push-ups, so I'll do that while you tell everyone.
Okay, yeah. We try to qualify for we tried to qualify for RLCSX 2 times, and we went into day 3. But yeah, we did make it out. Like the second time we did, we had some problems with people being able to play, so we had to play with a substitute, which always sucks. So yeah, we're trying to prepare right now for the next RLCSX and try to do some local tournaments. So the Rocket Benelux weekly/monthlies is what we sometimes do, or Nice Cactus is what we do, and try to come like really far in it, which we do sometimes. Like I think last time we got second, which is pretty good. And yeah, we're just trying to fix all the fix some mistakes that we currently have right now to become a better team and maybe make it out of day 3 in RLCSX, because I think we have the potential. I have 3 really good players under me, and I just try to make them a lot better than they currently are.
That's good. I mean, it sounds like you've already got them from 1600 to 2K. I mean, for a lot of people, they might say, "Okay, that's my job done, and I'm out." But I like that you have this ambition to keep pushing it forward. So till now, I think you, as a coach, you probably analyze all of the best and the worst things that you guys have done. So, what would you say has been your biggest success, but also what has been your biggest failure, like as a team, or till now?
Our biggest success is, I think like we made day 3 in RLCSX 2 times in a row, and I'm really proud of that. So also like something I think you misunderstood me. I started coaching mCon, I think 3 months ago. So Cheesefist and JWatch, I did make them 2K. It was only Pim in his previous team.
Oh, okay.
So just to point that out. But yeah. Yeah, our biggest success is probably making day 3 in RCSX, because I'm really proud of the guys, and I'm their biggest fan. I know that. I'm always there to support them. I'm always happy, always sad when they lose.
Gotta get them hyped.
Yeah, like I think I'm always the guy who's more. I'm more hyped than the players are. I don't know why, but I'm more hyped always for everything. Our biggest failure is probably like we come out a bad period. We had like 2 to 3 weeks that we played really bad, and we had some struggles with our rotation. We lost weekly tournaments against teams that we probably shouldn't lose, but people didn't expect us to lose. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was something that we did that happened, unfortunately. But we're trying to work. Okay, what's the problem? I know the problem. We're trying to fix the problem as fast as possible, and I think it will be we will be in time for RLCSX, and let's see what we can do the next regional.
Awesome. That's really good. And I mean, you mentioned some of the bigger failures. How do you guys just deal with that as a team? Because I know it must hurt sometimes when you go into a competition where you expect to do very, very well, and then it doesn't happen. How do you manage bouncing back from that and sort of staying strong as a team?
Yeah, what I just try to do, I try to keep them motivated, and just think like, guys, it can happen. We can all have a bad day. We have some problems right now, and we're trying to work on it. I want them to forget the past and look at the future. Like, look at what we can do if we fix this problem. Look what can happen if this and this will be fixed. and just try to make them look at the future and forget what happened and forget the dumb losses, but only look at our biggest achievements, because we can be proud of what we achieved. So we should only look at that and not look at our biggest failures, because that's unneeded.
Yeah, I think that's a very good approach, because otherwise it's too easy to start feeling bad about losing. But instead, if you focus on everything that you did well, then it's able to keep people more motivated. I think we're running a little short on time, so so one more question I had for you, and I think a lot of people would sort of love to hear this, is do you have any advice for anyone who wants to go into coaching? Whether it's at like a low level or a high level, what sort of steps should people take?
I mean, just like try to understand the game. Try to I've mainly played a lot of 3v3, and I only played 3v3. The other games I barely touched them. But just try to understand the game and how rotation works, how it works to play, and what kind of players you have, what kind of play styles you can do, and then just go to a team and just ask them, bro, it's okay if you guys can coach, if I can coach you guys, or you can shoot me a message, so can I maybe help your team sometimes, because I'm down to help other people too. I want more coaches in Rocket League, because we're currently lacking some of them. So I would just if you think that you have it in you, just try it. Just go to teams. Can I be your coach? I want to help you guys, and I want you guys to become a much better team. So I just go out, just show your balls and just do it.
Just show your balls. Just balls to the wall. You just go all in.
Yeah.
No, okay, I love that. So final question. I don't know what your MMR was, or in Rocket League, or what your highest achievement was, but do you need to be an ex-2K player to coach 2K players?
Yeah, fun fact, I started coaching when I didn't even hit Grand Champ in my life yet. So yeah, you don't have to be the highest rank in the game, because I understand. I just knew how to play the game in my mind. I knew how it works with 3 people, but I was too garbage to do it on myself.
Just didn't have the muscle memory.
Yeah, my mechanics were lacking. I didn't every advice that I gave. I didn't follow my own advice. So I started when I was Champ 2. I'm currently I hit 1800. So yeah, it doesn't matter what your rank is, as long as you understand the game. It's okay. You can become a coach.
I think that's really probably something great to hear, because obviously you're coaching at a high level, and I think for a lot of people maybe it's intimidating to get into coaching, because they feel, oh well, I'm lower ranked than these guys, they're not going to take me seriously. And I do a little bit of replay analysis sometimes, and I do it live on stream, and then I get some people drop in and go, yeah, but what rank are you, bro? And I'm like, oh well, I'm like, I peaked at C3, and now I'm hard stuck in C2. But there I am doing replay analysis for a C3, or for even a GC, maybe 1600, and I feel like I'm able to point things out, but because I just don't play enough, and my hands don't do the things, or I haven't spent enough time building the habits myself, but I do know what's right and wrong, So I think definitely what you say there is, it's probably going to be a lot of motivation for anyone watching that has started, either to get into Fiverr coaching or anything, to know that you can do it even if you're not, like a high GC.
Yeah, that rank doesn't matter. If you just show the players that you have the knowledge, because one of the players that I started coaching, he didn't take me seriously in the beginning, but I showed him that I have the knowledge, and he the moment he saw that, he thought yeah, okay, I can learn a lot from this guy.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that approach. KuXXeon, thank you so much for joining us. You've definitely shone some light on what it's like to be a coach, at one of the highest levels. And I think it's definitely been a very interesting conversation. I've enjoyed this talking to you as well. Of course, I do a bit of casting alongside you on Rocket Benelux, and but it's good to have this conversation, get to know you a bit better, and your impact in sort of the Rocket League community. So thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and we will be going now to just a very, very short break as before we get back to the analyst panel, before we view Galactic versus Lort. And so we'll see you soon.